In this Excel video, we are going to pretend that we need to lose a little weight, and we're going to make a weight tracker in Excel to help us do that. Let's get started. So here I have the beginnings of a spreadsheet, and you can download this if you look in the description below the video. Once you've downloaded the practice file, just click here on Weight Tracker, and you'll be in the right place. And I've just set up some formatting here for our weight tracker. And of course, I could go in day after day and type in the date, type in my weight, and the change from the previous day, and how many more pounds I need to lose. But that could get really tedious. So let's do it the easy way. I'm going to click on cell B4, and let's say I'm preparing this weight tracker for 2025. I'll just go in and type 1/1/2025, tap enter on the keyboard, and there I have day 1 for my weight tracker. Now I need to get January 2nd, 2025 into the spreadsheet and every other day for the entire year of 2025. I don't want to type all of that. I could use the autofill handle, the little green square in the lower right corner, click and drag to extend that date down. But this is 365 cells that I would need to drag that into. So instead, I'm just going to click on cell B4, and I'm going to go up here to the Home tab on the Home ribbon. In the Editing group, there's this little button here. For me, it just looks like a box with an arrow pointing down. This is the Fill button, and there's all these different ways that we can fill content into our spreadsheet. I'm going to choose Series, and it's going to bring up a dialog box with some options for me. The first thing I want to do is choose columns. This is going to be a series of numbers, dates really, that are going to be in a column, not rows, but a column. Excel can tell that this is a date, and that's great. Do I want to track just weekdays, or do I want to track every day? I want to track every day. Next, what's the step value? Do I want the date to increase by 1 day at a time or every 2 days? I'm going to stick with 1 day. Next, what do I want the stop value to be? When do I want this series to end? Well, I want it to end on December 31st, 2025. Click OK, and look what Excel has done for me. It's put in all of the dates that I'll need for the entire year 2025. Going back up to the top of my spreadsheet, let's say my goal is to weigh 180 pounds. I'm going to type that in, and maybe I'll put in my start weight. Let's say 210. And I'm going to tab over to the right. In cell D4, I want the change in pounds to appear here. Is it up 1 or down 2, or what is the change? Now, of course, this being the first weight, the change is going to be 0 for the first one. So I'll just type 0, tap enter. And then let's say on January 2nd, 2025, maybe my weight has changed. 209 pounds. We've got some good momentum going. I'll tab over. I would like this change of -1 pound to appear here. How can we do this? Just make sure you've selected D5, type equals if, left parenthesis, and what we're going to do here is we're going to test to see if C5 is blank. If it is, I want D5 to be blank. So I'm going to say if C5 is equal to, and in quotation marks, I'm going to put in a dash. Now this will make more sense in just a minute. I'll put in my close quote, comma, and then I'll put in another quotation mark. I'll tap the space bar and then another quotation mark. So let's look at what this formula is doing. It says if C5 is equal to dash, then in this cell, D5, print just a blank space. And you can see that I'm following this pattern here that Excel is trying to help me with. If logical test, so if C5 is equal to something, comma, value if true. In this case, I just want to print a blank space, comma, value if false. So if this cell is not equal to a dash, then I want it to show me the difference between C5, which is this cell here, and my previous weight. So minus C4. I should put in my right parenthesis, tap enter on the keyboard, and look, it worked. Because this cell is not a dash, Excel calculated C5 minus C4. Now I can fill this formula all the way down my spreadsheet, but it's going to show a little bit of a glitch. You'll see what it is. So I'll double click on the autofill handle, the little green square in the lower right corner of the cell, and that formula is applied all the way down the spreadsheet. So you can see the glitch. Because I haven't put in my weight for January 3rd yet, it thinks I've lost 209 pounds. And then all of these zeros, that doesn't look great. So here on cell C6, I'm going to click and type dash, tap enter, and then I can click on cell C6 and double click on the autofill handle to apply that dash all the way down the spreadsheet. So the dash just indicates that I haven't put in a weight yet. Okay, this is going great. Let's say January 3rd. Oh no, I've gained a couple of pounds. I put in 211, tap enter. The change is +2 from the day before. Next, let's calculate pounds to goal. To do this, I'll click on cell E4, type equals if, we're going to use that if function again, left parenthesis. I need my logical test next. So let's say if cell C4 is equal to a dash, and again, I have to put this in quotation marks. So quote dash quotation mark, then, and I'll put in my comma, what's the value if true? In quotation marks, I'm going to put in a blank space. So this just prints or puts on the screen a blank space. It'll look like the cell is empty. Comma, value if false. If there isn't a dash here in C4, then I want the difference of C4 and D2. This is my goal weight here. So C4 minus D2. Now, there's a complicating factor here. Look what happens if I close my parenthesis, tap enter. It seemed to work beautifully. But if I apply this formula all the way down my spreadsheet, it's going to ruin the formula. Just watch. I'll double click. It ruins the formula. Why is that happening? When you extend a formula down a spreadsheet using the autofill handle, or in other ways, the formula tries to adjust the cell references. So if you look at E4 and look up here in the formula bar, my formula is trying to subtract D2 from C4. But if you extend that down a row, look, it's C5 minus D3. So if you take C5, that looks good, but minus D3. You can't subtract change from 211. It's just not going to work, so we get an error message. So how can we, yes, extend the formula down the spreadsheet, but keep the formula fixated on D2? We don't want this D2 to ever change. We want the C4 to change, but not the D2. What we can do is go into the formula, and you can do it here in the cell just by double-clicking on the cell, or in many cases, it's easier to click on the cell and then go up to the formula bar here. That's what I'm going to do in this case. And I'm going to go right before the D in D2, and I'm going to put in a $sign. And then right before the 2 in D2, I'll put in another $sign. And then I'll tap enter on the keyboard. Now, what am I doing here? Those $signs, what they do is they make sure that this formula will stay fixated on column D and row 2. At least this part of the formula. The other parts can change, they can extend, they can adjust, but not D or 2. So now if I click on E4 and double click on the autofill handle, the formula extends down the spreadsheet, but there are no errors. Okay, let's try out our weight tracker. I'll click on cell C7. Let's say there's a big loss on January 4th. I tap enter. We have minus 4 pounds, and the pounds to goal adjust. Okay, there are 2 really important additional touches we need to make to this spreadsheet. So make sure you watch to the end of the video. One change I'd like to make is I want to make sure that these numbers allow for and show decimals. So I'm going to click on cell C4. I'll hold the control key and tap the down arrow. And that selects all the way down to the bottom of the range of data. And then I'm going to go here to the Home tab in the number group. I'm going to click this button to increase the decimal, show more decimal places for a more precise value. So I'll click on it once. And then here on cell C8, I'll type 207.85, tap enter, and it's showing the decimal. It did round up a bit, but it is showing the decimal. Now, the other change you may want to make is, as you can see, as the year goes on and you continue to enter your weight into this weight tracker, it can be easy to forget what column C refers to, what does column E refer to. I don't have the ability right now to see what those columns mean as I move down this spreadsheet. Let's fix that. To fix this, just click on row number 4. So I'll click on the 4 here at the left, and then I'm going to go to the View tab and perform what's called a freeze panes. Here in the window group, you'll see freeze panes. And if you click on the button, there are various options to choose from, but I'm just going to choose the top option, freeze panes. It looks like nothing happened, but now as I browse down the spreadsheet, notice what we see. We keep the weight tracker, the goal, and all of these column titles. Those are visible all the way down the spreadsheet. So in this video, we've created a weight tracker so that if you want to pretend like you need to lose weight, I'm sure you don't, but if you want to pretend like you do, this is a way you could build a spreadsheet that would help you track your progress. And remember, you can get a copy of this workbook in the description below this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this tutorial to be helpful. If you did, please like, follow, and subscribe. And when you do, click the bell and you'll be notified when I post another video. If you'd like to support my channel, the best way to do that is to become a channel member. You could also click the thanks button below the video, or you could support me through my Patreon account or buy channel merch, and you'll see information about those options in the description below the video. Speaking of supporting the channel, I want to say thank you to my fantastic, super techie channel supporters. Thanks so much for your support.